This month has been pretty fun in terms of finding unexpected gems. Classroom of the Elite is an absolutely wonderful blend of Death Note and Assassination Classroom, and I absolutely plan on making a video on it when it ends, by the way. And I am finally getting around to watching Made in Abyss, which is also a good little show. But no other title grabbed my attention as fast as this 10 out of 10 title. I don't think they could have made the title more hilarious other than naming it like the devil is an underpaid minimum wage earning fast food worker. Never mind, that just made me sad. But with the title and a premise like that, I'm surprised it took me this long to get to watching this show, but hey, here I am. And let me tell you this, boys, this show is fucking hilarious. Let's get to it. This is a review of The Devil King is a Part-Timer. Satan, not that one, the Demon King wants to conquer his own world, and Deisna. El Seal, Lucifer, Malakoda, and Adremelish to go conquer the 4 continents spread across the lands. But before they could do so, they get stopped in their tracks by Emilia the hero. The hero, with the help of their allies, kill Malakoda and Adremelish and drive the Demon King and El Seal out of Enteisla. The demons travel through a gate to reach modern-day Tokyo, Japan, and they soon discover that they don't have that much magic left in their being, and as a result, get changed to forms representing what they would look like if they were human. In order to survive, Satan, now going by Sadao Mao, takes a part-time job in a fast food restaurant named McDonald's. No. For legal reasons, it's not McDonald's, it's MgRonald's. While El Seal, who goes by Shiro Ashia, serves as his houseman. Wait a second, people getting transported from their reality to another, and they have to accommodate and get used to the rules and regulation of their new reality? Bitch, this is just a reverse isekai. How the fuck did I not see that before? And hey man, I don't generally dig isekais, but this one is especially sweet. There's something extraordinarily hilarious about hearing that the ruler of the underground's genius plan to take over the new world is to climb the ranks of McDonald's. His entire aspiration as a human being is just to become Dono McGronald. That's just beautiful. Anyway, it's not just the demons that get transported. Emilia the hero also gets transported to Tokyo and is reincarnated as Emi, who now works as a call operator. Emilia is a character I want to focus a bit on. She is said to be the chosen one per se, as she is the daughter of a human and an archangel. In his quest to destroy the world, Lucifer, under the command of the devil, destroyed the town that Emi's father was a part of, and he died during the attack. This is the reason why she seeks vengeance against Satan, and why she tries to kill him the very first instance she recognized him. However, she is beyond baffled that the Demon King has decided to change his ways, and he is no longer evil, but rather living a completely uneventful life. This creates such a dynamic character for her, as she wants to kill the devil for killing her father, but also cannot do so as Mao seems to be the most normal and well-meaning guy she has ever seen, who goes out of her way to help people he knows, like Jiho Sasaki. Speaking of whom, here is the only fully human main character from the series. Jiho Sasaki is a high school student and Mao's co-worker from McDonald's, who is romantically interested in our protagonist. She gets to know about Mao's real identity, but even then decides to look past his past and focus on who he is now. The interactions between the various characters is what really makes the show for me, to be honest. Sasaki's affection towards Mao, coupled with Emi's distaste towards him, makes for a really fun character dynamic around the Demon King. Even El Seal's loyalty towards his master is really fun to see, and of course he has to be loyal now that the other generals are dead. Oh shit, I forgot about Lucifer. One of the first major plot points of the first season was the introduction of Lucifer. This motherfucker that looks like the edgier version of Ishigami from Kaguya-sama decides to take out Satan and by proxy Japan, as he realizes that Satan's powers are much more lowered in this new world. Of course the plan doesn't work, Satan still kicks the ever-living shit out of him, but this is where we get to see how Satan has truly changed. Even though we haven't witnessed a character arc per se, we can clearly see that even before engaging in battle, he made sure that the people around him were safe and sound. Even after defeating Lucifer, he lets Lucifer live with him and El Seal and takes care of the poor bastard. Ironically, the devil is becoming more and more human. Would I have liked to see a character change happening? Yeah, but this is okay too. And you know what? While watching these shows, I developed a little tingle to eat a burger, so obviously I ordered a burger from everyone's favorite burger franchise, KFC. Hey, there isn't a McDonald's where I live, okay? Cut me some slack. Oh, speaking of which, Mao finds that a rival KFC, SFC, Kentucky's Fried Chicken to be exact, opens up next door to his McGronald's, and it is run by... Wait, is that James? Team Rocket's James?
Prepare for trouble!
Make it double down. All chicken, no bun.
Anyway, Pokemon-inspired Sunshine over here is not only the manager of the rival fast food chain, but also an archangel sent to kill the Demon King and his associates. Along with him, the Entei / Church's executioner, Christabel, or Suzune as she is called now.
So, turns out her name is not actually Suzune, it's Suzuno. So, sorry about that.
Also shows up to take down Mao. She becomes the next door neighbor of the Demon Squad and is surprised to find out that the Lord of the Underworld has had such a drastic change in character. Even when the Archangel kills Chiho and Emi, her conflicting feelings towards our protagonist keeps her away from doing basically anything. But when she witnesses Mao making his way to save his co-worker from the arms of the so-called angel without a care for his own life, she realizes that the man Mao Sadao had done nothing wrong, and that this incarnation of the Demon King is a hard-working teenager performing an honest day's working. Does this excuse all the previous behaviors and actions of the Demon King? Perhaps not, but she realizes that the hypocrisy in the speaking and actions of the church and decides to let Mao beat the ever-living crap out of the Archangel. And that is what the main conflict of the story is about, to be honest. Does the action of someone's present overshadow the action of someone's past? If someone changes their past eventually, does it mean that all the wreckage they left behind was justified? This dilemma is the core conflict that many characters of the series have to deal with. Emi breaks down crying when the Dark Lord acts sympathetically towards her, as that directly contradicts his former actions that led to the death of her father. She wanted to face an apathetic, purely evil devil so that she can kill him without any remorse. But this new character change puts a break to those plans. Suzune also faces the same problem. She thought she would come in and immediately decimate the demons, but ended up going for a loop when she saw how normal this bunch of idiots are. And I think this is a really good plot point for the show to focus on, and honestly, one of the highlights of the series apart from its comedy. But finally, let's talk about why I really like this anime. The comedy is what really sold me on the series. Even the simplest jokes, like Emilia not being able to enter the demon's room because El Ciel decides to lock it up, made me laugh harder than I care to admit. There is a running gag through a few episodes that the landlord of Mao, who looks like this by the way, sends them a bikini pic from her trip. And upon seeing this picture, one of the strongest of the demon's underling got a terribly upset stomach while the other just collapsed on the floor. Later in the episode, when Mao and the gang entered Chiho's school in hopes of finding a gate that leads them back to Entei and hear a sound in the distance, El Ciel pulls out the picture and says,
なんだそれ。魔除けです。その効果は我々悪魔が実証済み。
It's a very simple joke, but done very well. Even during the fights against Lucifer and the Archangel as well, there are just comedic gems dropped throughout the fights, like these.
B 級映画だってもうちょいマシな脚本書くぞ。このハゲ。B 級 B 級。ちょっと待ってください魔王さん。聞き捨てなりません。一体いつ映画などという無駄遣いを。いいだろ映画くらい。俺の小遣いで見てんだから。魔王様小遣い見学です。あ、そういうこと言う。言っちゃうんだ。貴様がいい加減にしろ。魔王様。見るならせめて毎月1日の映画の日に。喋るな足や。あとその情報は今どうでもいい。
あ、ごめん。
何すんだてめえ。
許せないわルシフェル。救いようのない腐れゲドンでからゲス痴漢変質者こじょ曲がりは先くせえろ下着泥棒。
そこまでやってない。
あんたその格好で戦うつもり。
安心してろ。このパンツはちょっとやそっとで破れない最新の素材でできてる。
どんだけそのパンツ信頼してんのよ。すいません、置いて。
魔王さん
何の関係だ。
マントを魔王城に取りに戻っており遅くなりました。本当せえよ。何しに来たんだよ。もう全部終わったぜ。
It was incredibly hard to watch this anime and not burst out laughing in the middle of the night. Ever since Konosuba, this is the most I've enjoyed an isekai, even if it is a reverse isekai. And given that the first season ended in 2013 and there has not been a season since, the entire season and the series earns it a pretty good score in my books. How the fuck? So, out of nowhere, Studio 3HC releases a poster and a release date for season 2. And that honestly is what prompted me to watch the first season in the first place. But what can they actually add to the first season to make it better? Are they just cashing in on some nostalgia? What on God's earth can they actually add? Oh my god, she is precious. Now, I will admit that I haven't watched all of the season yet, owing to the fact that only 2 episodes are out as of me scripting and recording the video. But let's just say that it is off to a promising start, and the daughter of the hero and the devil will most likely stop the series from getting repetitive or stale. That said, if it is exceptionally good or exceptionally bad, you can expect a video from me when the series ends. But for now, let's give the first season of The Devil is a Part-Timer a 75%. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments and also let me know what other animes you want me to check out. It was incredible to see the support I got in the last video. I did not expect thousands of people to watch the video, by the way. So if you're any of them, and even if you're not, thank you so much for checking out the channel. Be sure to subscribe if you want to check out other videos that I have coming up really soon. I plan on making a video on Classroom of the Elite and probably a roast of Rent a Girlfriend. So these are the videos for now, but again, thank you, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.